There was a big, storm here that I was out after 9 p.m. the other night.
I heard that. And below 57th Street.
Below 57th Street
Wow.
for an Odd Lots event. And, scheduled to be with us yesterday were Joe Weisenthal and Tracy Alloway. They closed the bar down at midnight.
Sure. Why not?
I couldn't make it yesterday. And it was such a randy performance there. Joe Weisenthal can't even attend today.
No.
He's still at home.
Yeah.
Joining
He's
us
still
on
recovering.
Tracy Alloway here. And this was brilliant. And Tracy, I think it speaks to Odd Lots. And it was a packed room. And here's the key phrase, of really, really smart people. Who was in that room? What kind of person?
I mean, a lot of former Odd Lots guests. We had Dan Wong, who's currently writing a book about the China and U.S. economy. We had a bunch of young traders. In fact, the winning team, I think, was put together some people from Citadel, some from Wells Fargo. They were called Short-Term Capital Management. And they went home with our first prize, which are... I'm quite excited about this, and I kind of want to keep one for myself. But first prize was a vintage PIMCO Outlook signed by Bill Gross himself.
Very
and
cool.
they each get one.
But the firepower here speaks to global Wall Street in that we talk to all the muckety-mucks in strategy and research. And that room and the Odd Lots supporters are the people really doing the work on global Wall Street, the quant work, the math
I'll tell
work.
you what, Tom, I will tell you, there is no way I could have gotten the answer to your third question. Tom's third question was insanely hard in his quiz round. Should I say what it is?
Yeah,
and see if
It's
anyone
okay.
can? Okay.
I think we could say it on radio.
This is the question. In the old days, when trading a bond of 2043 at 5% priced at 98.275, a commission of 3 points is called a...
Spread.
No.
That's the spread, but what's it called?
It is the spread, but what's it called? Colloquial term. You can say it on radio.
I don't...
You know what? 2 teams got this answer at the event, and I was blown away. It's called a field goal.
Very
Tom,
good.
how do you know
I
that?
like that.
I know it. I lived it. And the history here, we got to get to Tracy on what's going on in Odd Lots. But
that bought your vacation house. The field goal bought your vacation house.
don't go there. But
That's how it works.
the answer is, folks, the new Wall Street. And Arthur Levitt had a lot to do with changing the new Wall Street. The revolutionary, you mentioned Bill Gross. I've had the privilege of talking to Bill Gross in Newport Beach about his Monroe Trader. We had this little gray box to figure out duration and convexity, the dynamics of a given pricing of a bond. And one day, a guy named Michael Bloomberg with Tom Secunda
I've heard
and
of
like
him.
literally 7 other employees showed up with a box that gave you convexity in the snap of a finger, where you could interpolate and bring that in, and that took the field goal away. And all of a sudden, the 2 or 3 points on the trade was 1.25 point on its way to what? I'm saying now, if you're lucky, if you make 0.25 on it.
It just blows my mind that there was a time when you could earn a commission of 3 points. Like,
Bid-ask spread.
Tell us about it, and this goes to the boom in the market, and futures up 0.3% right now. The consumer boom has been there, and what you and Joe Weisenthal look at this week is the retail boom. How do you approach that?
Yeah, so we're taking a close look at the secret art of retail site selection, so how businesses actually decide where to open up their shops. And it gets surprisingly granular. So, things like, do I want to be on a corner where people are going to have to turn left to go into the drive-through? If I take up space in a shopping mall, are there co-tenancy agreements that restrict the other kind of businesses that I'm allowed to exist with? And the kind of surprising thing is that we are all used to talking about CRE as just this terrible area at the moment. But of course, CRE is not a monolith. It is not just office buildings in downtown areas. It can also be suburban strip malls. Some of those seem to be doing absolutely fantastic at the moment. It can also be, by the way, multifamily. And I think this is an area where we are starting to see more concerns emerge given what's happening with a certain New York bank.
Yes. And what I think over the last 10, 15 years, one of the retail themes has just been closing down excess department store, shrinking the footprint of retail. But I think what we've learned over the last few years is a lot of retailers are saying, yeah, e-commerce is great, but I also have to have a physical presence and that omni-channel experience for retailers where maybe I look at it online, I buy it in the store, I buy it online, I pick it up at the store. So physical retail is still a thing.
That's exactly it. So again, we're used to talking about the death of shopping malls, but
Yep.
what we've seen over the past couple of years is actually a lot of businesses took up physical space. They all started doing, point and click collection. If you're setting up a store where people are just going in to collect the items they've ordered online, then you have a whole new set of considerations. Maybe you don't want to be in the middle of the mall. You want to be on the outer ridges
Yep.
for easier access. And so we are seeing what makes a physical site desirable starting to change.